Senate creates silver stacking haven. Pack your bags. This week has seen unthinkable changes to life as we know it. Today, in response to all these changes, we're seeing a Senate bill passed and signed into law, creating a law that will attempt to fight back against all these changes coming at us. I want to break this down and show, in the wake of recent Supreme Court rulings against federal agencies, we're going to need to use this new law to fight to keep the silver market intact. The Loper decision, the Coroner Post decision, they've taken away the power of the Commodity Futures Trading Commission. That's the CFTC, the agency that oversees our silver market. The court has taken away its authority, and now this new law might be the safe haven for silver stackers. This is from the National Law Review, and the headline reads, California overhauls Private Attorneys General Act. The article says, California Governor Gavin Newsom, yes, everyone's favorite enemy, but check this out. California Governor Gavin Newsom signed two bills, Senate Bill 92 and Assembly Bill 2288. Those bills amend the state's Labor Code Private Attorneys General Act. It's a mouthful, but the acronym is PAGA. It's really important. They amend PAGA, which deputizes private parties to enforce the labor code on behalf of the state. Now, that phrase deputizes should remind you of the Wild West, back when there was complete lawlessness, back when we didn't even have a local police force. That's where we're headed. I know that you're thinking the same thing. The phrase "Make America Great Again" was not supposed to send us back to the 19th century, but the Supreme Court has done just that. Check this out. The article says, if you're enjoying this video, please hit like, please hit subscribe. It really helps to get this information out there. So check it out. The governor announced a deal that had been reached with the legislature and business groups to reform PAGA. According to the agreement, business groups would withdraw a ballot measure to repeal PAGA if the two bills were signed. Now, without going into the weeds of this, I'll explain it in plain English. Corporate elites were fighting to take away every inch of power that we, the little guy, has, and they threatened to impose a ballot measure unless they got a certain concession. They got their concession, and now this law has been signed, and this is what it does. The article says the law includes a new procedure for employers to address and cure alleged labor code violations after an employer is served with a PAGA action complaint. That's a mouthful also. Now, I'll tell you what it means. Now that the Supreme Court has taken away the authority once held by federal agencies, it is up to the little guy to fight for his own rights. And with this law, if an employer breaks the labor code, then there will be a neutral evaluator assigned to support the little guy. This is just a taste of what life is going to be like post-Chevron. That was the case the Supreme Court just destroyed in their goal of dismantling the administrative state. This law that was just put in place, this law that requires a neutral evaluator, this is what we're going to be looking at as the silver market spirals out of control. The CFTC is a federal agency, just like any other. And now, after all these rulings the past week, we're going to need laws like this to fight against the corporate greed coming to take over our silver industry. It would be foolish. It'd be absolutely foolish on our part as silver stackers to think these corporations are not chomping at the bit, watching every federal regulation dismantled, chomping at the bit to get a hold of the reins of the silver market. This is exactly what they're going to do.